So maybe it's because of what I do, but I meet a lot of people who, are waking up from the dream. And then what happens, a lot of them go immediately back to sleep again, so to speak. So what that basically means is they catch a glimpse of what they truly are, what reality really is. And then spend the next couple of years trying to get back to that. And also, like trying to find a way home. It's like, in a sense, they remember and then they forget again. And there's a number of causes for that. One is that obviously when someone tastes this thing or has a glimpse of awakening, they immediately assume that that's it, they're enlightened, or this is what enlightenment is. It's not. The actual state that you're functioning in right now is an enlightened or free state. That is just, in a sense, a confirmation. But it's incredible how we want to kind of, in a sense, hold on to that particular experience. It's like I say at talks, it's like me, drinking water out of a glass and then wanting to hold on to that glass through thick and thin. Even as I'm leaving the building, I'm like, I want to take this with me. It's ludicrous, and yet we do that with these glimpses or these permissions. Now, one of the reasons we do that is because what happens is the mind and the ego come back and they want to claim this whole idea of, I am now awakened, or I have seen a glimpse. So you hear people having glimpses, and then you can hear their mind talking to you when they start saying things like, well, you know what, I know I'm coming towards it. How do you come towards something that's already here and now? But again, it's just like the mind telling them that, yeah, we're getting closer. And inevitably, they're not really getting closer, they're actually getting further away, because the mind has taken over and it's looking to own, control, or hold the experience, but also, more importantly, reinforce its whole role in it all, which is to keep you in that limited idea of you where the mind is king, the thoughts are identified with, and everything is real, and we never really kind of, in a sense, are in now, even though even that game that's being played out is just now, working its itself out. It's like, in a sense, it's losing itself and finding itself. So what happens is perfection exists there, but there is, perfection exists there, but there is this idea that it doesn't. And it's a case of saying, well, I'll accept that moment that was blissful and everything felt all one, but I won't accept this particular one. So what it does, that then does, is the mind then splits even, you know, liberation into, what, it's got to be like this, it's got to be like that. So the mind then gets you into, in a sense, almost like a separation there. It's now, it's not freedom you're looking for, or freedom you're looking to realize. It's something separate that's totally impossible. Imagine a state where there was nothing but bliss. It would be completely impractical, and yet the mind convinces you that this thing called enlightenment or realization will be this, but it won't be that. That's, in a sense, denying part of the experience, which is in itself again another separation. But the mind has played out this subtle game, because what it does is, even when you go to meetings or you go and read books about this stuff, the mind is constantly filtering and bringing into your worldview that which suits it. You've got to remember, the mind and the ego know you as well as you know yourself. As a matter of fact, they're there to help you, in a sense, function. Now, rather than beat up on them, what would be better, in a sense, is to just see their role in the whole thing. My mind has allowed me to do this video. It's kind of formulating thoughts and ideas, and it's coming out, and that's it. It's nothing more. If I was to say that it's a sum total of my existence and stuff, and somehow it's a bad thing and I've got to kind of control it, then I would be wrong in my thinking. And if freedom was this, but it wasn't also the mind and thoughts, like I say to people, where can you go where you aren't? And invariably, there's nowhere you can go where you're not. So even the mind is another aspect of freedom. It's okay, a limited version of it, and what we're looking for, or what we're trying to realize on this whole journey to awakening, or this realization, is that you're not your mind, you're not this, you're not that, you're so much more. But paradoxically, all of that limitedness of you is also included in this as well. And what happens is, in a sense, you are, in a sense, kind of every aspect of it. So you are that chattering mind, you are the thoughts, you are that which is prior to thought, you are that which is prior to mind, you are the expanse of it all, you are also the contraction of it all as well. And what happens, in order to stop, in a sense, people from seeing their true self, and let's be honest, there's only ever seeing, the mind concocts these images of, well, no, we can't accept this, but we can accept this. So in a sense, you're constantly chasing your tail. But the reality is, you're not chasing your tail, your freedom. That's your nature. It's not something you can get away from. It's you. But on the surface of it, this game is being played out, and the idea of seeking occurs, and then the idea of going to meetings and all of this happens, and it is just really a game the mind is playing out. So the mind will stop you when you start seeing bits of what you truly are by reinforcing its role, and it's to, in a sense, let it go as well. Even with awakenings as well, it's best to sometimes just kind of let it go. Okay, you've had this, you've had this moment. Okay, it's done now, it's gone, let it go, move on. But a lot of seekers will then want to invariably hold on to that, or feel they've lost something and they want to travel back to it. You travel forward, you never travel backwards. And by again forming an idea which is happening in the mind, you're again then, in a sense, you know keeping yourself stuck in that whole mind and thoughts and little game that you're playing out loop as well. So freedom is you, it's your nature, you are in that state right now, however you want to call it, however you want to dress it up, or whatever you want to make of it. And this little game is just a game that's being played out. Its ideas are being formed as to what liberation is and what it isn't. And it's best to, in a sense, just let it go and stop trying to understand it. It's incredible the amount of people I talk to, and they're like, but I've had this, or I've had this, or I've had this. Like, in a sense, it's almost like a badge and a confirmation that they're traveling. It's something that needs to be let go of. It's not about you. The I in this dies. If anything, it's very, very humbling. Because what you find is that you travel further and further, and you realize there's so little that you actually know. And then there has to be a trusting and a resting in what you truly are. And in that, the mind is automatically quietened, or it chatters as and how the moment requires or needs or occurs. But there isn't anyone, in a sense, wanting to try and figure it out. It's the whole wanting to figure it out. It's the whole, I'm going to get enlightened. It's that I, which causes so much trouble in all of this. And no doubt that's being propagated by the mind, because it's looking to reinforce its role, and it's looking to survive. It's looking to keep you in that game. But that's not a bad thing. It's just basically in that time and space, that's the role you're meant to be playing out. So of course the mind is going to be doing what consciousness wants it to do, because guess what, the mind isn't separate from consciousness, thought isn't separate from consciousness. It's a play. It's seeing through the play and realizing that the mind will continue, emotions and thoughts will continue, but there's no center to that all. It can be identified with. I can very much really believe my mind is real, or I can move away. So in a sense, you're not holding on to anything for too long. It's you're picking up, putting down as and how you need to. That's wisdom. That's what you truly are. It's when we grab something and we hold on to it, the agitation starts. When we hold on to that thought, that mind, that awakening experience, whatever, that's what causes the agitation. So in a sense, let go, and constantly be letting go. And then what you'll find is that you'll see more and more of what you truly are. But again, don't take that as some sort of a technique I've got to do, because again, that's just the mind there. Go, well, okay, I've heard something from this video, let me take this away and let me play with this as well. What you are is this. There's an immediacy that's here, that is you. You're not separate from it. There's no space between you and it. There is no veil, there's no separation, and whatever's happening right now is it. And even if that cannot be accepted, because guess what, it's not what I think it is, it still is. What most people are looking for is, in a sense, almost like a conscious confirmation of what they really are. Yeah, and that again is in mind. So that's that on that topic. Please do subscribe to the channel if you want to obviously get more updates and stuff. I will be pouring out more videos as and how they come along. I don't believe in a kind of, in a sense, of factory process to this whole thing. We'll just keep pouring out videos as and how. If I really feel like I should do something, or if I'm asked a question and I feel it should be addressed, then yeah, I will. I just thought I'd put a few thoughts down on this. So be good, be blessed, be happy wherever you are. Be you, more importantly, and I shall see you on the next video.